Under 24 hours, the 2022 edition of the African Cup of Nations kicks off with host Cameroon facing Burkina Faso at the Olembe Stadium before Cape Verde takes on Ethiopia in the second Group A game. Mukami Wambora bumped into fans of the two rival teams in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, as they made their way to Yaoundé, Cameroon for the 10 p.m. clash tomorrow. All right, and we are joined now by Mukami live in Cameroon. You did an excellent link in Swahili. I must mention, Mukami, I was very embarrassed and challenged as well. We may see myself doing one very, very soon. But what's going on there?
Vicky, I will hold you to that, and I'll be sure to remind you of that. Here in Cameroon, I think the excitement is just really building ahead of tomorrow's clash. Just the journey here alone, left Nairobi at around 5 a.m. in the morning, and once we got to Addis, there's a flight directly to Yaoundé, and there were a lot of fans from different countries waiting to enter the country. If you just look at Ethiopians, of course, were there in numbers. It's their first time since 2013 to be back into the competition. They actually won the tournament in 1962 but have struggled since then to really give an account of themselves. So the fans are here in large numbers, and they were singing and dancing throughout the flight. That's a 4-hour flight from Addis Ababa to Yaoundé, and they got everyone involved. Cape Verde fans were also there. Cape Verde is the smallest nation in the African Cup of Nations. They're under 600,000 people in terms of the population there, and the fans came out, and I think what was just so good to see was the camaraderie amongst all the fans from the different countries. We also saw fans from Comoros and the players from Comoros and the federation from Comoros, and we have to remember that Comoros, it's their first ever African Cup of Nations. This is the first time that they're appearing, and a similarity between Comoros and Cape Verde, almost all the players are actually from, they're actually diaspora. Sorry, I'll allow him to pass. But yeah, I was just saying Cape Verde and Comoros, almost all the players are from diaspora. They're based in France and they play for their countries. Comoros specifically only has one player born and raised in Comoros. And just looking forward to what's coming up tomorrow. Ethiopia and Cape Verde will be taking on each other, and I think for them, both teams, it's just all about enjoying the atmosphere here in Yaoundé.
And I wonder, Mukami, how are they handling the COVID-19 situation there? Of course, we've seen how positive cases have hit different teams. We just ran a story on how Man City was affected, but how are they handling that there?
Yes, in fact, Vicky, as recently as 3 weeks ago, there was not even certainty that the African Cup of Nations will be going on, but a decision was made by CAF to let it continue, and it's largely in part due to the Omicron virus that showed up in November, the South African one. And once the decision was made, what they decided to do is to just limit the things that will happen in terms of preparedness for COVID. As soon as we landed in Yaoundé, we were taken straight to a room where we got rapid testing, and you can only gain access into the country once you have a negative COVID test. And then for the matches themselves, every fan must be fully vaccinated. You must show your vaccination certificate as you enter the stadium. And on top of that, you also have to show a negative PCR test that is 24 hours before that match. And just as it was in the airport, they're doing the same thing in the stadiums. There'll be rapid testing booths everywhere, so fans will have to go there, present their certificate, get tested, and then finally get access into the match. And just to give you context, in Cameroon, only 3% have been vaccinated of a population of 26 million, so that's about 780,000 Cameroonians. So there is that sort of fear that the stadiums will not be packed. In fact, CAF have limited the capacity to 60%. But I think what a good thing that has come from this is it's gotten a lot of people to actually get vaccinated. The drives have been going through, and for those who want to enjoy the matches, they have been coming out to get vaccinated, and I think that's one of the things that is critical to look at. And as well, just in terms of preparedness, remember Cameroon was supposed to host the tournament in 2019, and they were stripped off of those rights. First, in terms of infrastructure, which they have corrected. The stadium, Olembe, 60,000 capacity, is state-of-the-art right now and is ready to go. And in the other 5 cities as well, they have the stadiums ready. And in terms of the second one, it was about safety concerns, because you have to know that there's the Anglophone side of Cameroon, the English-speaking Cameroonians. There was a crisis that's been happening the last few years, and they've been protesting the way that they're being treated by the Francophone side of Cameroon, and it's led to various acts of violence. And that was the fear in 2019, whether they'd be able to host it safely. That fear still stands. As recently as September 2021, there was an IED attack in Yaoundé, but they have deployed military forces to the Anglo side of things, that is in Limbe and Bouafassam. So we're going to be keeping an eye out for that. Hopefully everything goes out without a hitch. But as you can hear, I don't know if you can hear, there's like vuvuzelas going off, cars are hooting, and the excitement really has been building, and everyone is excited for tomorrow's opening game, Cameroon versus Burkina Faso, and right after that, Ethiopia versus Cape Verde.
I must say, incredible that even with some civil unrest and a COVID-19 pandemic, they're still able to pull this off. Stay safe out there, Mukami. I know you have a very busy day ahead of you tomorrow, so let's let you rest. I know you arrived a couple hours ago, but a good job so far. All right.